And we are live. In today's episode of the Nano Podcast, I have my dear friend with me that is from UTEP, Valeria. Say hi, Valeria.
Hello, everyone.
And today's topic, we're going to be talking about student debt and the government involvement in all of this. Okay, Valeria, I'm going to start off this interview by asking you, in your personal opinion, how bad do you think student debt is here in the United States?
I do think it's pretty bad. I do know that there's a big incline in student debt, and the reason for this is I know a lot of students want to undergo more years of school, meaning graduate school, to get their master's degree, their PhD, to become more successful and to be competitive in the job market. So this basically means more years of school, aka more years in debt. I do know that everyone is in debt for almost $1 trillion, and $1 trillion are owed.
Very well, very well. Now, I just want to get your opinion on how important do you think it is to acquire a college education? Because I know in today's age, times have changed a lot, and what we were living from the past is not what we're living today. So I just wanted to know what your opinion is on acquiring a college education, and how important do you think it is for you to graduate school or graduate college?
I mean, personally, I believe that it truly depends on the job you're trying to acquire. Obviously, if you're trying to go into the medical field, I think a degree is necessary, as well as engineering. You know, there's very specific jobs that you need a degree with, but not necessarily. For example, if you're trying to obtain a job being a realtor, I don't think you necessarily need a degree for that. There's many jobs that you can get without a degree, but I do believe if you want or are seeking a higher paid salary, a degree is always looked for in employers. So I do believe that having a degree automatically opens more job opportunities for you with a higher salary, but I don't think it's truly necessary for any type of job.
Very well, very well. Now, judging that you're in school and all, I just want to ask, do you think that the cost of college outweighs the benefits of getting a college education, or do you think the cost is too high?
Like I said, it depends on the job you get. So if you're going to be a doctor, you're going to get paid more, meaning you're going to be able to pay off your debts in the future. But let's say you're seeking a job that has a lower paid salary and you still had to pay off a lot of loans. It's going to be hard to fully pay off these loans with the job that pays you a low salary. So like I said, it just depends on the degree and the job you do have.
Very well, I completely agree with you. Now, since you're in college, I just wanted to know, which forms of federal aid are you familiar with while you've been in UTEP?
So I am familiar with loans, which is the ones I take out. I know there's different types of loans. I have the one that has 0% interest rate. There's other loans that offer you or that can help you out, but I do know that those have different interest rates and a different year that you have to pay it off. For example, I have to pay my loans the year of 2028. I am informed with grants. Unfortunately, I can't get grants due to my family's income. But I know that grants, you don't have to pay them off in the future, which is always the best. And I know about work study too. It's where you work from school, and college helps you out with financial aid, with tuition. And I know there's a lot of opportunities at UTEP that can help you out with work study, which is a good option.
Very well, very well. Now, I just wanted to go over a little bit about what President Biden is trying to do in order to fix this issue. He recently gave a proposal that he said he had promised in the elections, and in this proposal he explains that families earning less than $125,000 in their annual income qualify for $10,000 student loan relief, and if you qualify for the Pell Grant in the university, you will receive an additional $10,000, which totals the amount or brings the amount to $20,000 if you qualify for the Pell Grant. Now, I wanted to ask you, do you believe this student debt forgiveness is fair, or is it not fair for the American people?
So, I think my opinion is a little biased because I don't think I qualify for this. But looking at other people's perspectives, I don't think it is fair. There were a lot of people that couldn't undergo college due to how expensive it is. So they couldn't get an education, they couldn't take out loans, and I didn't think it was fair for them that had to miss college when this opportunity wasn't available back then for them. I also don't think it's fair for those that have struggled to pay off their loans in the future. And like I said before, this wasn't available for them when they were struggling, as well as those that have a good paying job but still had to pay their loans. I just don't think it's the best fair option for everyone.
Very well, you're very right. I agree with you. Now, I'm gonna go more a little bit about President Biden's proposal, where he said he will give out $10,000 to the American people needing help. I just wanted to ask, do you believe $10,000 is enough help for students, or should they be receiving more than that?
I think it is a big relief. Oh, no, actually, no. I'm sorry. I changed my opinion. It is a small amount of money. $10,000, I believe. It's probably like about 1 year for college. Maybe it all depends on if you're in state, out of state, if you need to pay for housing. A lot of that depends. Also, like I said, for the first question, if you want to go to graduate school, that's obviously going to be more money. So the 10K probably helps out with a few 2 years of school. So I don't think it's necessarily a lot of money. I do think it helps, definitely. But there's still a huge, depth there.
You're right. You're very right. College is very expensive in today's age. And now, judging from President Biden's proposal, do you think this is a good enough solution, or do you believe that this will result in just more national debt for the United States?
I'm not too familiar with national debt, but I do know that I have to think about this question a little bit. I do believe it's good, for those low-income families that can't afford college at all. I think it gives them a second option to look into going into college, because there's a lot of people that look at the cost of college and automatically, defer their decision to go to college. So I think this 10K really, really does help.
Very well. I do believe it helps out a lot too, especially for the people that don't have enough resources to pay for college. But like you said, I think it should be a little bit more. Now, how about the people that paid all these loans off in the past, and in today's age now they're giving this type of help? How do you feel about that people that paid all their loans off when during these times they could have been receiving this type of financial aid in today's age?
So for these people, I do believe that it should have been available for when they were in school. So I just don't think it's fair for them. And since they already paid it off, maybe they struggled paying it off, maybe they got a good job paying it off. But I will say, I think most of them there should be a way to figure out if you needed the help or if you didn't. That way they can maybe get their money back. I know this is going to maybe put the national government in debt more, but I do think it should have been an option for everyone, even if you already paid off your loans or you haven't paid off your loans. And I think this could have been a good help for them. So maybe they should, turn something in to see if they qualified for it back then, and maybe even get their money returned.
Very well. That was a very good interview, Valeria. I think this is gonna conclude my podcast for today. I really thank you very much for coming here and helping me with this. I wish you the best, and I hope you are able to pay off everything without any trouble, and that the government really does something about this important issue, because it's really something that is really important in today's age. But other than that, thank you very much, Valeria. I really appreciate you coming here.
Thanks so much for having me. I think loan is a big issue in today's world, and it should be talked about more, and it should help us out more. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. And this concludes today's episode of the Nano Podcast. Tune in for next week. We will be talking about more important topics and more about the world. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a nice weekend.